I need everybody to remind me to press record, okay? Because my head is still not quite right. Okay, so we'll do our other mountain on the other side, a little bit lower than the other one. Simple shape. And the one in the middle. So you set up 3.
Julie, I'm going to ask a question, a silly question, maybe not. You've got the X where the 2 mountains cross right at the intersection of the tree.
Yep.
Was that on purpose?
Sorry, say that again. Here?
So the last one came down on the other side of the tree. So it looks like, is that what we need to aim for?
I'm just following the same plan as Tom Thompson did. So so that's what he did there. But if you don't like it, then you can totally move it.
I think what that does is create the focal point, doesn't it, of the tree?
Yeah, yeah. Kind of
Okay.
make sure I.
Look at all you've taught us, Julie.
Oh, look at that.
I didn't even know how to put a paintbrush on a canvas.
My star pupils. After COVID, I do want to do a student show.
I've got lines all over the place.
I think it'd be so nice at some point to all meet together and have like a student show with a nice little cheese and wine thing.
Let's set a date,
Yeah,
late June.
and that would be lovely. Well, I have a very large garden, so we could always do an outside student show and get some marquees.
Now, if I feel like I've messed up already and the line is too black and too dark, do I just go ahead with what I've got? Because I've got my mountain, I've got my mountain, my middle mountain too far to the right. Does it matter? Just go with it.
It doesn't matter. Go with it. This is 7 layers from a masterpiece. We are just, this is just a sketch. Everything can be painted over. That's the nice thing about acrylics.
Oh, just a further note. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I was just going to say, when we were talking about sharing pictures, Kathy, Jane and I just quickly scrambled and did submit, and we had 4 of our Winter Wonderland pieces in our CFUW newsletter for February.
Oh, is there any way to see it? Like,
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I'd love that.
Yes, it was from our winter. They actually look really good.
You're a published artist. That means you can put it on your passport that you're a professional artist.
Oh, I don't know about that. Not for me, anyway.
Be careful putting anything about being a professional, anything on your passport. You'll get grilled whether you're coming into the country to work and generate income. So you're better to stay neutral on your passport.
I think mine just says homemaker or something like that. I don't think my passport says anything. Yeah, I'm a professional dinner maker and vacuum upper. Okay, we're gonna do a little mountain here. And a little one poking out on the other side here too.
Okay.
We are gonna tackle the tree.
Okay.
Are you ready? I'm gonna take you through step by step. We're gonna go into this, no fear, okay? Because we can just paint over it. The bottom is wider than the top. And I would say the bottom is about 1 finger wide. And obviously it's slightly curved. So the easiest way is to go slightly one side. And then on the other side. I'm just going to turn this into a tree. But I would say only go about halfway up the canvas to make it thicker, because we want to keep that nice thin top that we made. And I'm going to bring my tree down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to give you a little formula for jack tines. So we're going to work our way down side to side, and we're just going to do curved lines for now. And they don't have to look like mine, so don't worry about it being perfectly like mine.
Okay, I need a break.
Tea break time already.
Well, I just don't have my tree that far yet.
No, that's okay. Do you want me to pause a minute?
Just a sec. Yeah, thanks. Now, is that at the very top you're doing that?
Yeah, so
What happens if you've done it this way?
that's okay. You can
So
still
at the very top, eh?
if you want to, yeah. So this is where I like using a flat because I can kind of go thick and thin. So we're going to work our way down, going side to side, and the branches are going to get longer as we get further down.
Julie, could you bring that canvas down a little bit because my face is in the way? That's better, thank you.
Julie, I don't know if your arm is frozen over the painting. Oh, there, okay, it's good.
No,
now.
I was
there we go.
I was just pointing at the speaker view for Chris. Okay, so we're gonna just keep going side to side with these kind of little branches. And these are kind of whimsical branches, so kind of stylized and simplified. So we're going to start just with the body of the branches, and then we're going to revisit this and come back to it. How is the light? Is the light okay? Is it bright enough?
It's excellent for me.
Okay. So those people who have painted trees with me before, you may remember that the letter of the alphabet that best describes branches is the letter Y. So imagine wobbly Ys. So the branches will kind of split, and one, so imagine I'm turning this into a letter Y, and one arm of the Y is always longer than the other. So you see how this is a letter Y, and this arm is longer than this arm. It's the easiest way to describe it. So I'm going to make this one into a letter Y. Let me know if that makes sense. So I'm going to take this branch, turn it into a letter Y. And we're not going to do too many because when we paint our background, we're going to be painting over a lot of these anyway. Am I frozen? Am I still there, or am I frozen? Am I back? I just lost internet for a second there. Apologies. Okay, so does anybody want to show what they've done so far?
I've got that one done. My mountains I need to work on, fill them in.
Let's see. Oh, lovely. Jane, that's great. That's really nice. You've got lots of nice movement in that tree.
Yeah, thanks.
That looks great. Are you pleased with it?
Yeah, yeah. I'll sit with it for a minute.
The next thing, we're going to start filling in our darks and our branches. So you may want to switch to a flat if you're not using a flat already. And if you want, you could switch to a filbert. So it's you have the rounded edges. So Karen, you wanted to show me yours?
I just want to see if this is sort of the right idea.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Wonderful start.
I'm feeling a little,
Now this is the underpainting. We can paint over it if we don't like it. Okay, so we're going to start filling in some branches and making these a bit chunkier. Is everybody with me? Give me an eye.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to work on these shapes. So we're going to start with the shapes at the top. So let's start right at the top. This is like our foliage. And it doesn't have to look like mine. That's my first chunky on one side. And a lot of these are gonna, because you know our tree has foliage 360 all the way around. It's not just going to be side to side. Some of them are going to go right across like this, across the trunk. So let's have a look at the other side. Not necessarily following those lines I just made. I want those to peek through. I'm focusing on my foliage shapes. So I'll just do the first cluster. And you can let me know when you've done that. How's that going?
I feel like I need to take a horticulture 101 to learn the anatomy of a tree.
Well, this is stylized, right? So it's it doesn't need to look.
No, but to know what I'm stylizing.
Oh, I see. I get you. Yeah. We doing okay, Karen? That looks excellent. Fantastic. Okay.
I just need to breathe is all I need to do.
Okay. I'm gonna keep going. Okay. The next shape is quite easy because it's just like a big chunky one going across the side. So I may have to go back to my dungeon next week, although it's lovely painting in here. The Wi-Fi isn't as great in here. There we go. There's my other little cluster. Have I lost sound, or is everybody just really concentrating?
We're muted.
That's good. I have a guy in my other class who bursts into opera when he's painting. Right, I think it's starting to look Algonquinish, if that's a word.
I feel like my tree trunk is too skinny. Are we going to be adding more to the trunk later?
If it's too skinny, you can totally thicken it up. But the
Okay,
jack pines do tend to be quite slim. So, but if you feel like it's too skinny, then by all means thicken it up. Do you want me to take a look at it? Yeah, might be a little bit anorexic, might need to just thicken it up a little bit. It needs a few big dinners, I think. Or maybe it's a tree that's weathered a lot of storms. Time flies when you're having fun. I think it's important to spend a good amount of time on this stage to get the foundation shapes down. I find if I rush this stage, then when you start adding color, it just doesn't, you know, it's more challenging. So you'll find this time that you spent on the underpainting will definitely pay off. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
That was real, Alto.
I know. Oh my goodness, I've been watching a really, really funny show. I don't know if it's on Netflix or Amazon, but I do like to share when there's something that, you know, it's nice just to watch something really funny. And it's an improv series. So they bring in a special guest every week. And they had Sharon Stone. They've had a couple of famous comedians. Ken Young and the girl from that show Schitt's Creek, Annie. So they have a different guest star each week. So basically it's all actors except for the guest star. So all the actors have a script, but the guest star has to completely improvise. They have no script and they're playing themselves, and they have to just kind of guess who the murderer is at the end. And it's so funny because they're all giggling, and they say the guest star doesn't know what's going to happen, but it's, I have to remember what it's called. It's really funny though. It's new, so you want a bit of a giggle. We found that very good light entertainment last night. But the reason why I was saying is because one of them had a very deep voice when they were pretending to roll.
Julie, Leanne, I'm really behind, and I'm a little struggling.
So just make them
some suggestions.
I would make little bit thicker at the top, your top one.
Yes,
See this part, just make it a bit,
yes,
you know,
thicker.
almost like just put like a little bubble and fill it in around here just to thicken it up.
Okay,
And then I think this one could do with being a bit chunkier as well. The other ones look great. I would just maybe thicken up here and thicken up here. Yeah.
oh, okay, thank you.
No problem. Oh, wow, Kathy. That looks great. That looks great. I think your tree might need to be a little bit thicker as well. The actual tree trunk on
Okay,
yours, I would make it a little bit thicker.
and what about the clumps? Is there something that needs to be?
I think the clusters are fine. Maybe again at the top, this one could do with being a little bit thicker here.
Okay,
Just like maybe add a little section in here, but just that and make your tree trunk a bit thicker.
okay, thank you.
Let's see, Chris. Very nice. Yeah, Chris, yours looks great.
Thanks.
Just hold it a tiny bit closer to the camera so I can see the tree trunk. No, I think that's great. Again, you might want to make it a little bit thicker at the bottom.
Okay.
And Karen, yeah, yours looks great. Again, maybe just thicken the tree trunk up a tiny bit. But what's great is generally in my classes, people go too thick with the tree trunks. And it's easier to make a tree trunk thicker, but not very good, not very easy to slim it down. So it's best to be the other way, make them too thin to start with.
It's always, no matter whether it's a tree or a person, it's harder to slim it down. It's a lot easier to make it fat.
Oh yeah, yeah. So give your tree a nice little banana raisin muffin and just make it a little bit.
You are too funny, Susie.
Well, Michael's have got 25% off the Windsor and Newton paints this week. FYI, if you need paints.
Who is that has it on sale?
Michael's has 25% off Windsor and Newton this week.
Ah, a certain kind of paint. I didn't catch the name of the paint.
It's Windsor and Newton Galeria. These are the ones I use, and they're 25% off this week.
Okay, so that might be a better price than the price you were talking about?
It could be. Unfortunately, I already ordered all mine before I saw that, so it probably works out about the same.
Right.
I ordered sets of 10, so there's 10 paints in a set, and I think I paid, they're normally about $79, and I think I paid $65. I'll have to check my receipt with tax.
And did you just get a full range of colors? That's what you did?
Yeah, so they just happen to be a set with all the colors that I recommend. But I do have a sheet that I'll include in the notes of the colors that I recommend. If you go in for pure basics, I would always get cadmium red, cadmium yellow, and ultramarine blue. With those three colors, you can make anything, plus black and white. But I do recommend there's other colors on top of that, which I'll put in the notes. Yellow ochre is a good one. Raw sienna and burnt umber. Violet is also really good, and phthalo green.
What kind of green?
Phthalo green. It's
Sailor?
phthalo green. I'll get it and I'll show you.
If you put it in the notes, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the notes. So when I'm teaching kind of paint nights, I always say just stick to the, you know, if you can't get anything else, just get the 3 primary colors. But it is handy sometimes to have the ready mix colors just to save time. But yeah, I'm going to put those in the notes. So I'm going to put in the value scale, the paint colors I recommend. And I'm also going to put in a sheet about how I set up my workstation.
Julie, since I'm working in unforgiving pencil crayons, what would you say is the light source?
Oh, yeah, good question.
Is it coming from behind?
Yeah, it's coming from behind because it's a sunset.
Is it centered or left or right justified?
I would say it's slightly more on the left side. I did put on the original painting. I'm just going to flick cameras and show you the original painting for a second. Okay, so I'm going to move my easel out of the way and my body out of the way. So can you see the original painting? It's dusk, so it's the light source is very low. But I would, on mine, I kind of defined it as coming from kind of low in this direction, because I still feel like I put a few flecks of color on the edges of the branches here, a few lighter parts. I mean, that's how, when you're designing a painting, it's good to define where your light source is, because it helps you kind of construct everything else. These little lights are supposed to be kind of like little villages or houses, these little splodges of paint that got their lights on, because it's becoming early evening. But on mine, I just made this top left-hand side a little bit lighter. But, you know, on this particular painting, I mean, the tree is in silhouette because the light is behind mainly. But on mine, I'll show you mine in comparison. I kind of made my light source more definite on the left.
Julie,
I
I think I made this blob too big.
don't think so. My blob's quite big too.
No, this blob right here. I was
No,
looking.
that's okay. Look at my blob's quite big too.
Yeah, it looks so strange.
But,
Do I need more branches on the bottom?
yeah, I would put a smaller one in here below it.
Right here?
Put another
No, here.
No, where you were before.
Here?
Yeah.
Beneath the big blob. And then another little blob?
Little blob afterwards, yeah, after your big blob. Yeah.
So here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Anything else? It's pretty rough.
So I've got one across here. Just, yeah, you've got that one there. So I would have one coming down here.
Okay, well, I started that coming down, but maybe I need another branch
I
there.
would have a lower one. Yeah, maybe have a small cluster coming off that, just a small one.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Don't forget, we're going to paint over a lot of this anyway. So Kathy, beautiful.
What about that dark one you were just talking about? Mine's pretty separated. Just a second here.
I feel like you need something over here on this side.
Okay.
Just to balance it, maybe a small cluster lower down on yours. I just feel like there's something needs to go there.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Oh, turn myself off. Okay, let's see, Karen. That looks great. You might want to put something on the end on there, otherwise I think it looks great. Let's see, Jane. Jane, I think that looks great. And I see you started putting in some shadows on your mountains too.
Yes.
So that's great. So the two steps I do want to do today is I want to put in the shadows on the rocks in the foreground. What Jane's already doing is the shadows on the mountains. And then I want to put in the undercoat, the white paint undercoat that we're going to do for our light sources. So it's got lots of time to dry for next week. And then we can just put our yellow on top next week. So so that's the kind of few things that I want to do and get done today. And I think that will take us up to the time. So we're just going to put in a few shadows in the rocks, a few shadows in the mountains, and then the white, we're going to define where our light parts are going to be in the sky. So
What kind of a white are we using?
just white, pure white, titanium white. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Great. Don't need to do anything more to your tree. And that looks great. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of define where my rock shapes are. So the first one, I'm gonna put in so these do not have to be, pardon the pun, set in stone. That was purely accidental.
Grow.
Roll today, I'm telling you. They don't have to be set in stone. Oh dear. I am my mother's daughter. My mom does amateur dramatics and she does very bad comedy.
Is that snow or rocks, the white in the background?
Oh, these are little lights. So imagine it's like a village with the lights on, the town.
Oh, I thought it was snow.
That's how I interpret it anyway. Yeah.
Up in Algonquin, it would be snow.
It would be
too many-
snow, yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure if it was snow or granite.
Looking at the original Tom Thompson, it looks to me like it's lights of like a distant town. But I will let you interpret that whichever way you want. That's what's so nice about looking at other artists' paintings. It can be lights, it can be snow, it can be whatever you want them to be.
Is this kind of a sketching lines again, in a way?
Yeah, just kind of sketching it out. Trying to imagine what the rocks would be like, lots of kind of different shapes. Now, I painted this on wood. And there's one thing I didn't do, which I always tell people to do when you paint on wood, especially the kind of cheaper wood canvases, is I didn't pre-sand it. And can you see my edges are like really jagged? So I'll have to sand that and then touch it up if I'm going to sell this. So should have pre-sanded it. So if you do paint on wood, give it a very light sand before you start painting on it.
Just tell them it's a distressed original.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. And if you ever sell anything that's inspired by another artist, just remember to give the other artist a mention and say it's like inspired by the style of. Now, I don't want to lose my leaf shape, so I'm just going to go around them a little bit.
So how do you prevent those leaf shapes being all blurred in with that mountain?
Like it happened here. It's one of the bonuses of working on a red background. You can go right up to it, but leave a little bit of the red showing. And also, I went too dark. I should have done the mountains a little bit lighter. So this time I'm not going to go as dark with my mountains. And maybe go a little bit of a brown, not quite a black. But this is my underpainting, so this is where I'm just putting in mainly my shadows. It's where we turn our oopses into awesome. I had some oopses. I'm just putting in a few rock shadows. And then I'm going to get out my white. Okay. So I'm going to start with defining where my cloud's going to be with white, and then I'm going to paint all the areas where I'm going to have this bright yellow with some white. So I'm going to go about.
Julie, can you stop for one sec?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
It's okay. So what did you do to your rocks?
Oh, so I just put in a couple of shadows very roughly. So kind of in the little nooks and crannies.
Okay, give me 2 secs. Thanks.
Great.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I got my white paint. I'm going to start just in line with the tops of my mountains. Don't worry if you go over some of your tree branches, we can put them back in. So I'm defining this yellow shape here. So I'll keep my finger on it so you can see what I'm doing. So this afternoon, I'm going to send this recording to everybody. It won't be edited or have any pretty music or anything on. It'll just be the main video. So it's just for us. And what I recommend you do is save it somewhere. I think you can download it to a laptop. Pretty sure it will let you do that. How are we doing, Sandra, for your first time with us?
I'm still working on those mountains. Haven't got to the clouds,
No.
but I'm feeling happy.
Excellent.
Not to worry, I'm still on the mountains too, Sandra. I know that's the beauty of having the recording. You don't have to rush it because you know you can catch up.
Yeah, that's really nice, Julie, to send a recording. Great.
Okay.
It's nice not to feel pressure like some paint classes. You feel pressure to keep up, and this is better.
And what I'm going to do is take some photographs of where we're up to right now. And I'm going to put that into the notes with some notes on the value scale. So I'm going to send it as a Google Doc because the file sizes are very large and not everybody's email address will accept it as a PDF. But if you can't open the Google Doc, let me know and I'll try and send it as a PDF and hope that your computer can handle it.
Can you send it both? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can send it. I'll have to send it as two separate emails because I find if I send it as a PDF, some people's mailboxes reject it because it's too large, because there's a lot of images. And then other people's mailbox, it all depends on your email provider. So I'll send it as two separate emails because I wouldn't want you to not get anything, so
But on the Google, it'll be a PDF inside that Google Doc.
well, the Google Doc is like I like it because I can keep adding to it because it's like a live document. And if I make any changes to it, the next time you open it, the changes will be there in real time. So I don't have to keep resending it. So once you have the Google Doc link, you can open it at any point over the next 6 weeks and you'll always get the most up-to-date copy. Yeah.
Oh, hi, Sam. I'm in the middle of a class.
Oh.
Here, just a second.
Just gonna mute Susan. Yeah, so that's why I use Google Docs, because you get instant updates. And once you've written it down once you've opened it once, whenever you open it, it will always be updated. I have had some people who have it open and they can see me updating it. They can see me typing and it changing as they're looking at it. So. Okay, I'm gonna keep painting, but I'm gonna be sending a photograph of where all this white's gonna go. Yeah, feel free if you want to take your own pictures as well. Well done, Leanne. I'm so happy to be back with you all today.
We're happy to be back.
Yes, yes.
I am
It was,
too. I really missed having it. I thought I would paint on my own, but I just didn't seem to make time.
I did a bit.
Good, I'm glad.
oh, I can show you. I did finish the Winter Wonderland, and I made a little addition to it. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yay. Bunny.
Oh, a little bunny. Oh, I love it. Oh,
Yeah, it's hard. Animals are hard. So I remembered what you said. Snow covers everything.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
didn't have to worry about his feet or anything. I just had him hopping in there behind a hill.
I
Nice.
love it. That's gorgeous. And you know what? I think you've got next year's Christmas card all ready to go.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, just take it to somewhere like Staples, or you could even just print it as a photograph and glue it onto some cardstock, and you could get a whole bunch of them made. And there you go. There's your Christmas card sorted for next year.
Oh, that's a great idea. Oh,
That's what my mom does. So my mom
Yeah.
paints lots of winter scenes now, and then she'll have them all printed and ready to go for next Christmas.
Wow.
So I love them because I collect them. Like each year I get a different painting and then I keep them, and yeah, really nice. I think I'm gonna make some Easter cards because Vistaprint messed up my Christmas card this year and it never arrived. So nobody got a Christmas card from me this year. So I think I might do a paint. This could be my Easter little card this year. I'm gonna get the, it's not Christmas, but you get an Easter card instead card. So this is our, think of this as like a primer for where all our lights are gonna go. So wherever you want light to be, we're gonna put this white down as an undercoat. But remember to leave a little bit of the red showing through. I do like to see the red where it touches other shapes. So I'm gonna send everybody the video as soon as we finish today. I'm gonna get the notes over to you as soon as I can. And then if you don't finish this part, then this can be homework. Oh, and Leanne, don't forget to send me the, I'd love to see the article with your paintings in of the CFUW newsletter. Oh, you're muted, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know if I can live from it because I think it's a PDF, but I could send you the whole newsletter.
Yeah,
It's public anyway. It's on our website.
Oh, it's on the website. Or maybe if you just send me the link to the website, then I can have a look at it.
Yeah, it's yeah, I thought that it looked really good. Well, our editor is really great and she laid it out really nicely. I gave her the landscape and portrait and said, you work it out. And it was just a scramble for the deadline. So I was able to get some from Jane and Kathy.
What's your what's the website called?
CFUW Oakville .ca, I guess. I don't know. I've got it in there. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And then it's from the home page, then you can find the newsletters, past newsletters.
Oh, great. Thank you.
But I could send it to you.
If you remember, Julie, I wasn't able to attend the painting with the cardinal and the lamppost.
Yeah.
So I did another one with a couple of cardinals on a birdhouse.
Ah.
So when you see it, you'll say, what's that one? We didn't do that. So
No, it was great. I was gonna, I thought my cardinals were pretty good. And then I thought, well, no, that's a different take, but you had to be much more attentive to the detail. And your color, the colors in the the way birdhouse was, that was beautiful.
I saw your paintings in the newsletter, ladies, and I was so impressed. I almost thought, oh, you guys are too good. I shouldn't join this. But
Oh, no.
but it's the group of 7 that drew me, and I said, oh, I love to work on painting trees. So that's why I came.
Well, none of those were done for mine anyway. They weren't done in the class. I have to work on them afterwards. And I, work on the details. And sometimes I take a wet cloth. No, that's not right. Then I have to so it's a lot of fixing up afterwards.
But it's fun, right?
For me.
Leanne?
Oh, it is fun. It is fun. Yes. But I have to know when to stop because I've had enough, like, because you concentrate so much and you get tense and, or at least I do, and trying to concentrate and get it right. And anyway, but the proportions were wrong in my the evergreen one I showed you, and so it had a big gap on one side, and I thought I got to do an animal, so I started sketching little fawns, and then I sketched foxes, and I thought, oh, their legs, the legs look so funny. So then I thought, oh well, snow covers everything.
It
Like
really
Julie
does.
said.
Snow fixes everything.
Leanne, as a suggestion, if you find you're getting tense, I've caught myself doing things, and I find if I get tense, I'm holding my breath.
Oh, that could be too. Yes.
If you think about breathing deep, I have to go.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody's gone for that eye exam where you have to click the little, it takes about 15 minutes and you're staring in and you have to keep clicking when you see a
Yeah.
white.
Oh, I've had that. Yeah.
I find I get so tense doing that, and I realized I've been holding my breath for 5 minutes.
That's very true. And I'm even clamping up my mouth and sort of, and then I'm thinking, no. So then I have to go and stretch. Even today, I just leave for a minute and stretch and roll my shoulders, and yeah, but it's all good.
Well, I think you've done great today. And we've laid down all the foundations. So next week is fun because it's painting by color. So we're just gonna get all the color down, layer 1. So I'd like to do that in the first hour, and then the second hour, do a second layer of color, and then we can add the blending and have some fun with it. And it doesn't have to be my colors. It can be anything you want.
Will you send us a photo of the original in your document too, please, Julie?
I've just been editing the pictures and making them the right proportions to put into the Google Docs. So as soon as we finish today, that's what I'm going to work on.
Oh, I meant the group of 7 original too.
Oh, the group of 7 original. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks.
Hi.
Can you just look at the bottom part where I've had to leave the red around the leaves when I was doing the mountains? Have I left too much red?
No, I love that. That looks really nice. That's really catching. Yeah, looks great.
But when you do the white, I see that you go right up to the clusters, right?
Yeah, I've left a bit of red though showing.
Well, at the top particularly, you haven't left any, have
Got
you?
little bits, little bits.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So you have.
Little bit.
Okay. All righty.
Subtle, just
Okay.
a little bit subtle, which is kind of, you look at this one, it's very subtle, little bits of red.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Just like little bits. So you
Yeah.
see like the little bits of red showing and here and on the Tom Thompson one, I'm gonna switch cameras for a second because I want to hold this up. Don't forget, this is a reprint and it's very much enlarged from his original. It's very big. So I don't know if you can see, but can you see there's red? It looks more orange on this because it's faded, but can you see there's red literally everywhere?
Right.
Where any shapes touch, you can see red. Where all of the shapes touch, every single shape where it touches has red.
Okay.
Like every.
Oh, are we gonna, oh,
Sorry, Leanne, you're muted. You're muted.
yes, all the little tiny branches with the little buds or whatever on it, we're gonna add those after?
I simplified mine, so I didn't make.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, right, all right, I gotcha.
So, I mean, that's up to you how close you want to go to the original, but I wanted to keep mine quite simple and and I did exaggerate the colors. I wanted the colors in mine to be bolder. I did bring in some blues and yeah, I just simplified it. So I'm gonna leave that one up to you. I'm not gonna do all of this detail just because I want to put my own style into it, and that's not really my style to do. So yeah.
No, simple is good. I like simple.
Yeah. Darn heavy, this one. I had an idea that I was actually gonna paint on that painting.
Can you put yours back up again, please?
Oh, sorry, I know that's the wrong way around.
That sort of the light effects on the rock reminds me of the lighthouse one we did. It sort of looks like a patchwork patchwork blanket or something.
That's just me bringing my own style into it, you know, because I want it to have some of me in there too.
Yeah.
It looks like a quilt.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
And that's kind of just the style I like to paint, you know, very much kind of this kind of style as well, just a bit more, you know, more definite brush strokes and simplified.
It really makes it very bold and the colors stand out. And it makes a harmony because the oranges are pulled down into the foreground as
Yeah.
well.
And that's deliberate. And that's what I didn't like about the original, because the original, there's purple here and there's purple nowhere else in the painting. And I decided to bring some purple into the tree and into the rocks just to marry it all together. And again, in the original, the orange is just here by itself, but I wanted to pull it. I like to pull everything together. So it's Tom Thompson with a bit of Julie in there. Well, maybe it's Julie with a bit of Tom Thompson in there. I don't know. So I did want to just share with you the paintings we have coming up, because I know some of you have, you know, painted with me in my paint nights before, and I don't like to duplicate. So I'm just gonna switch cameras again, unless anybody needs this one up still.
It's okay.
So has anybody done this one with me? This is a Lauren Harris interpretation.
No.
Okay, so this is one which I would like to do because again, this is a style that I love and I very much enjoy painting. So this is the one I would like to do next. And I just wanted to share with you some of my own paintings from my own photographs that I've done in this style. So put that into your memory. And I'm going to give you a little tour of my dining room now. So I'm just going to unplug. Okay, so you're still with me. So bear in mind, this is Lauren Harris. So this one you may have done with me. That's a photograph I took of Malign Lake in
Devon.
Alberta. Alberta.
That's it. Yeah, sorry, my brain just went there for a second. And I turned that into a painting that was taken from a boat. And then this one is a series of 3. If I pan out, can you see all 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, very Lauren Harris inspired. This one in particular, that's hiding behind my plant. This is one of my favorite paintings that I've done, and I have done this one very, very large downstairs in my spare bedroom. And again, simplified shapes. Let me just move my plant. I have to put everything up because my cat keeps nibbling on everything. So simple shapes, limited palette, exaggerated the snow and the kind of jagged lines. So so it's kind of become a bit of my signature style. So again, there's that one. I did this as a triptych. That one, which is more purples. And this one. These are all sketches I took when I went on my trip to the Rockies and turned into paintings. So again, can you see how stylized those clouds are? So
Oh, I love them. I love them. I love that style. Beautiful.
Thank you. So Lauren Harris, if you saw how I used to paint when I was in England and how Lauren Harris has totally influenced the way that I paint. Going back to the Lauren Harris now, you can see
Yeah.
the influence and how he simplified everything.
So they're always landscapes?
Yeah.
Always. Can that style be changed to be something else other than a landscape?
Like an abstract?
No, like birds on a birdhouse, for example.
Why not?
Oh, okay.
I'm going to show you a very different interpretation, again, inspired by the simplicity of Lauren House. I'm taking a little tour of my messy house now. So welcome to my piano room. So this is our music room. And can you see the paintings behind me?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So,
Love it.
so this is one of the first abstract paintings I ever did in our college, Dundas Valley School of Art. And this is Ken sat at his piano using really simplified shapes and limited palette. And then I did this big one. And I have a little space on the wall to do another one next to it, which I haven't done yet. So I want to do a singer next because I'm a singer.
Wow.
So I've got piano. This one is a collage of my husband and I, and all the things, shapes that represent us.
Oh, the pencil for the art or the.
Yeah. So let's see if I can.
Yeah, cool.
See if you
Oh,
can-
the palette is made into a heart.
Yeah, nice.
The palette's made into.
Artfully.
So there's mountains in there. There's the
Yeah.
English flag. There's a guitar in there. There's piano.
Oh, wow.
There's music notes. There's a microphone in there. There's an art palette. So it's kind of just. So
Beautiful.
you're asking if you could turn that into something other than a landscape. That's how I've done it. So yeah. And then this is another palette, but again, I would say Lauren Harris style-ish, which some of you may have done something like this with me before.
Right. Yeah.
So this
Neat.
is Nevada mountains. So anyway, we've gone over time, but I did want to share that with you. My house is covered in paintings. So lots and lots of paintings. I don't have any wall space left, so I just rotate them. Okay, so I'm gonna do the notes now, and I'm gonna send you the recording with this as it is. Also my finished piece, and then the Tom Thompson original print. The value scale, I'm going to throw in the paint colors and color wheel again. And then is there anything else you would like in the notes that I haven't covered so far?
Yes, well, you were going to put in the colors that you would suggest to
Yeah.
buy.
Yeah. So I've got that down to put in. So, okay. So I look forward, thank you. This has been really fun. I've really enjoyed your company. So thank you for sharing
That's
your
good.
time with me. And I will see you all next week. When I send you the link, the password is in brackets at the end of the link. So just copy and paste it minus the password into your browser, and it should take you straight to the Zoom recording. And I think there's a little button you can download. Okay.
Perfect.
Bye
Thanks,
bye.
Julie.
See you. Take care.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. See you.
Is that white thick enough, Julie?
Karen, are you still there? Yes, you're muted.
Yes.
I can't hear. Oh, did
Yeah,
you
I'm
ever
here.
get a chance to ask Janice about my question?
She just went through some surgery, so I think she's a little
Oh, okay.
indisposed right now. But I did forward it to her, and I'm waiting for a response. I'll call her during the week.
Okay.
Give her a week to heal, and then I'll get in touch with her.
All right. Thanks. a
Yeah,
lot.
I definitely forwarded it right away.
Okay. Thanks.
Is that too white, or is that white enough?
That's perfect.
Then I had to redo the black because the white smudged out the black.
Don't worry, we're going to go over it anyway.
Okay, you know me, I'm always second guessing what I do. Thank you, Julie.
No, it's perfect. You don't need to do anything. It looks perfect.
Yay. Okay, thanks, Julie. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So today we're gonna start adding our colors, and the easiest way to do this is add one color at a time. And you can choose what colors you want to work on first. I'm gonna start with my greens. We're gonna start with a lighter green on the top. Can you no, you can't tomorrow. We're going to start with a lighter green where the horizon is, where it meets the mountains. And then we're going to just bring that down into a slightly darker green. So the greens I used, I made my own with ultramarine blue and yellow. And I did add a bit of white at the top. So I'm going to take you through step by step how to do that. So the colors you're going to need is ultramarine blue, white, and cadmium yellow. Unless you have a really nice green that you love, you could also use phthalo green. So if you have phthalo green, so just if you already have green in a tube, or you could use sap green, whichever green you like, or you can make it with me with ultramarine blue, yellow, and white. So I have my ultramarine blue. I put on my palette. And I'm going to put some white out. And then we'll get our cadmium yellow out. And the brush I'm going to be using is about a 1/4 inch flat. And I'm going to wet it first. So do my little rinse and wipe on the paper towel. And I'm going to do all my mixing on the canvas today. So you can apply some white and yellow directly onto. So I'm going to put a little bit of white and I'm going to put a little bit of yellow like right next to it and mix it on the canvas. Can everybody see that okay? So I'm mixing on the canvas white and yellow. And again, I'm going to cut in around the tree because I do want some of that red to show. How's the lighting? Because I've changed things up a little bit. How's that lighting working? Is it okay?
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll go with this and see how this works. See how my neck is after this. So I'm going all the way across, but I am gonna blend this in a minute. So it's not gonna stay this light on the right hand side anyway. So we do need to work quite quickly on this so that it doesn't dry while we're trying to blend. So I'm gonna add in a little bit of pure cadmium yellow now, directly underneath. So I'm bringing the pure cadmium yellow directly underneath the left side. So there's still a little bit of light, but on the right side, I'm bringing it all the way to the top. Okay, and then I'm just going to show you my palette. It's a very messy palette today, but this is showing that my web palette is working very well. These paints I've had on the go for quite a few weeks now. So this is ultramarine blue and cadmium yellow. So it's making this nice kind of moss green. And I'm going to work bottom to top on the water. So this is ultramarine blue, cad yellow. So I'm going to apply it to the bottom. And then I'm going to blend it up into that yellow. Can you see how I'm kind of working quite quickly back and forth so it blends like that? So I'll do it in the all along the bottom. So I'm cutting in and then I'm picking up a little bit of yellow to blend this in. You know, and if yours looks different, that's okay, because it's uniquely you.
Julie, did you blend the blue on the canvas?
On the palette.
On
right
the palette.
here.
Okay,
So I
thanks.
picked up some ultramarine blue and I blended it into my cad green here. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
No worries.
Oh dear.
seems like we'll have, at least for me, maybe my branches are too low. You have to go afterwards and fix up the black branches.
Oh yeah, yeah, we'll definitely go back in and fix up the black later.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
it takes a lot of time to work around it.
Yeah, no, just go over it and we can fix it up later because it should still show through a little bit, even if you go directly over it. I'm not cutting in totally out. See here, I'm going completely across and you see how it's still showing a little bit. So that's fine. Yeah, on this one, I totally went over it again.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, see, look, Leanne, if that makes you feel better, I'm going all the way across.
Oh, okay. Well, that saves a lot of time.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Be a rebel, just yeah, because the black is so strong, it should still show through. Is that still working okay? As the light changes with the, do you need me to adjust the light at all with the angle of the camera?
No.
Okay, good.
No, it's good.
Excellent. While I have that green out, I'm just going to put it in a few little random places. Now, this is not prescriptive. You don't have to put it in the same places as me, but just to, I like to take a little bit of each color and put it in into the rocks, you know, just so it's balanced. So I'm just going to put a little bit of green in here and there. Just so it all sort of marries up together. So we don't want to go too crazy, but I'll put it in a few little places. How's that going for everybody?
Great.
Yeah.
Not very good at the blending, but I'll have to keep working on it.
Just don't worry about it too much because we can always put another layer on later. At the moment, we're blocking in. You know, I would say we're 7 layers away from a masterpiece. Just call this layer 4. We got more layers to go. So we're just blocking in. So we've done our red background. We've done the outline. We've done the shadows. We've done the highlights. So we'll call this layer 5. So this is our blocking in, just getting rid of the blank canvas below. And then we have the final touches. So that's our putting a second coat on of our color and then bringing back in any black outlines that we need.
I think it's not very good.
Doesn't have to be perfect at this stage. See, I've still got transparency. See here? So this needs a second coat, but I'm not going to try and fix it now while it's still wet. You see how it's like transparent here? You can, you know, that'll definitely need another coat. So don't worry, we're just kind of blocking in.
Yeah, that's my problem. Little spots here and there where I can see the red too.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put in a little bit of green. Because this is on the original, there's little bits of green in the original. I'm just going to put a little bit of green where the clouds meet the sky. And again, Tom Thompson put a little bit of green in his, but I'm making it a little bit more defined because I just like all my colors to marry up a bit. So I'm going to put a little bit green on the top. His was more kind of tiny little brush strokes of green. I'm making mine a little bit bolder. So I'm taking the green across. I'm concentrating it on the left-hand side. And this is just so that, you know, the different parts of the painting are connected. Does that make sense? And look, I'm going just for Leanne, I'm going all the way across. See? All the way across, right over my tree. Just a little bit of green.
Is it like a wash? Like, have you sort of watered it down?
No, I haven't watered it down. I'm just being quite gentle with, yeah.
Just gentle. Okay.
Yeah, because I know I'll thicken that up later. It's more just at the moment, we're just placing our colors so we know where everything's going to go. And we're going to do a second layer later. So you see how I've now got this kind of, it's like marrying together. So I've my sky, my rocks, and my water all have a connection.
Julie, could you give us just a few minutes to catch up a bit?
Absolutely. I was going to ask you if you mind if I just go for a quick bathroom break, because I totally forgot to go before we started.
Oh, please go. We need the time.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to have a quick little
You don't have to rush. Take your time.
Go have a nap.
Take a cup of tea.
Yes, like read the Hello magazine. No, okay, so I'm just gonna put my brush in the water for now. Okay, I promise I'll figure out the recording issue. I'm sorry it didn't work for everybody. It's just I don't know what's going on. I'm trying every way I can.
We appreciate it.
Okay, we'll get there. If I have to do the YouTube thing, I'll do that. My issue with YouTube is it takes ages to upload and it's finicky, and sometimes it crashes halfway through the upload. But the other thing is from a privacy point of view, I didn't really want to put it in a public place. I wanted it to be a private email, you know. I can set it as private, and then delete it later. Is my microphone crackling a bit?
Oh.
No, okay.
What a mess over here.
Anybody else want a coffee while I'm going up to the loo?
Yes, please.
Okay, do milk and 2 sugars.
Thank you.
No problem.
Do you have any biscuits?
Oh yeah, yeah. Hobnob's okay.
Perfect.
I have no idea what that is, but sure.
I think we need Valentine chocolate.
I wait till at least noon to start.
It's really hard to think that the sky is going to be good. It just looks so ridiculous right now. Oh gosh. I just don't get the green part.
You're not alone.
Yeah, that's for sure. Somehow it does work out. It's hard to imagine, but it does.
When the sky turns green, that happened up in Vaughan. My kids were up that way the last time that tornado came.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so a green sky is a scary thing if you see it in reality.
Oh. I desperately want to add some blue to the sky. Yeah, I'm really struggling with that. But maybe we do that later.
I think this group of 7 thing is very different.
I'm also having troubles with the water being so green.
Yeah, swampy.
Doesn't look very appetizing.
Okay, I've got all the coffees and the hobnobs. So I heard somebody say, what's a hobnob? I think I may have to introduce you to a biscuit that will change your life. No, hobnobs are like a oat cookie.
Yeah.
An English oat cookie. But they're very Moorish. And often they come covered in caramel and chocolate.
Ooh, nice.
I was just going to say they sound too healthy. So, but you changed my mind with the last 2
Oh,
words.
yeah. They're quite sweet. And there's a comedian I love, an English comedian called Peter Kay. And the thing, British people are very famous for dunking their biscuits in their tea. And as a kid, we would always dunk our biscuits and see how many times we could dunk it before it fell off and broke off into our tea. Well, Peter Kay always says that hobnobs are the Marines of dunking, because when you dunk them, they're like, dunk me again, because you can dunk them loads of times without them snapping off. Digestives are rubbish. They only do like 2 dunks maximum. Then you
Yeah,
end
I
up,
like digestives.
then you've got to fish it out from the bottom of your tea later.
Sounds a bit like the Italians biscotti. They like them really hard, but then they dunk them in their coffee or their espresso.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can
And-
When we finally meet up and have our student show, I'm going to make sure I have hobnobs.
I can bring.
You'll all be
the
going
Scottish.
home with a packet of hobnobs.
We can get the Australian Tim Tams and you drink your coffee through the cookie.
What?
Like you use a Tim Tam, you can get them in most grocery stores. They're from Australia.
Yeah.
And you drink your coffee or tea, use it like a straw and the cookies sort of hold.
Well, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most Metro have them.
That sounds
Can you
amazing.
find hobnobs here in Canada?
Oh yeah, you can get hobnobs. You can get them in
In
you
a
know, when
British-
well, when the supermarket has like the British section. So I've seen them in Fortino's, and I saw them in Walmart once. And then there's so I'll make myself hungry. There's so many good British biscuits. Ginger snaps.
Those are good.
They're really good.
Scones. Scones too. I like scones. Or is that more Scottish?
Scones.
Yeah.
Oh, my mum makes the best scones. Cream and jam scones are always our treat for like an afternoon tea thing. And I grew up, well, where we used to live before I moved here, I lived in the south of England for a while, and they had Lake Ochre was a village where they film like Pride and Prejudice, all the historical dramas. So there's always filming going on. And they have a tea shop there where everybody, all of the waitresses dress in Victorian costume. And the scones are just unbelievable. Like proper clotted cream. So the best scones are always in the south where the clotted cream is, like Cornwall, Devon, Wiltshire. And that's where they filmed a lot of kind of the Harry Potter movies. And this tea shop is famous for often having Dame Judi Dench staying there. But yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, I like her.
And
She's
they
a
make
great
really,
actress.
really good cream teas
So where is Julie?
in Laycock in Wiltshire. So it's the village where I used to live.
Is that anywhere near Southampton?
Not far from Southampton, but Southampton also has amazing tea shops. My godmother lives in Southampton. There's all sorts of lovely kind of Victorian tea shops around there. They're kind of everywhere. We've probably got in the south of England, probably as many as Tim Hortons here. Well, maybe not that many, but there's a lot of English tea shops in England. But the further south you go, the better the cream.
You always make your blending look so easy. I don't find it so easy, but you've done it for many, 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 many more. So maybe it'll be better.
I didn't used to find it easy. There was a time when I just started art college here, and I was going back to England, and my sister had asked for me to do a painting for her birthday, and I was flying that night, so I had to finish it, and I couldn't get the blending, and I tell you which one it was because I have it right here, because I then duplicated it at home and did it again. It was the hot air balloon one, which some of you may have already done. So this is a copy, the original I took to England. So this one. And this was an absolute nightmare to blend. So it was based on a photograph that my sister took. But it was blending blue and yellow together, which you all know makes green, with some oranges as well. And she wanted to look exactly like the photograph that she took from, and she took it from a hot air balloon. And this was my blending nightmare. And I'd only just learned how to blend. It was quite new in art college. having had a break for many years in between doing my fine art degree. And I remember just yelling at the painting, like, why can't I blend this? I used to be able to blend. So yeah, I've had many of a happy accident with blending. And I don't always get it right because sometimes, you know, the air is too dry or my paints just aren't cooperating. You know, it doesn't always, I mean, that's not great blending that I've just done now, but I know the second layer, it will go better.
I have old full body paints. So sometimes it's like blending saran wrap.
Sorry, that's giving me really funny images in my mind.
Really, can I show you? I don't know if I'm on the right track here.
Yeah, completely. That looks fantastic. That looks great. That's lovely blending.
I have to still go around the branches a little bit, but yeah. Do you think that's okay?
That looks great. And don't worry about going right over them if it's easier, because we can put the branches back in later. They'll still show through.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to put as many of the sort of patchwork effect on the rocks, because I know when we did the lighthouse, I never got them right. They're a little bit harder, so they don't look too artificial, like more, I don't know what to say.
I know what you mean.
And I missed the one of the purple purple here. So I put a couple places where I'd put the purple in, 5 little backgrounds.
Yeah.
I don't know how I missed that extra hump when we were going.
We can put it in. We can put it in now if you want.
Are we doing the purples? When does
Yeah,
the purple
we have
come in?
there's no order for anything. So let's do the purple now. So let's get some. If you're making your own purple, red and blue, or if you're using a store-bought purple, just get that ready. This is, if I do one which I don't mix, this is the one I use, Windsor Violet from the Galleria range. It always is a really nice vibrant one. I've tried lots of other makes and this is always my favorite. But you can make this with Ultramarine and Alizarin or Cad Red.
Since it's so, we're trying to get the effect that they're far away, so it needs to be a lighter, sort of almost like a lavender kind of.
A little bit lighter.
A little bit of what? Yeah.
I mean, this is also a sunset, so you don't have to worry too much about the rules with this because the light is behind anyway, so they'll appear to be darker. So, I mean, you could try it straight from the tube and see how dark it is. I've just added a little bit of white to this. Can you see how it's a little bit lighter, so just put a small amount of white with it.
Did you change your brush? You got a smaller brush now?
Yes, that was an accident because I thought I'd picked up the same brush. That was purely accidental, but I'm like, okay, let's go with it. This is a number 2 flat, but that was actually, I was using this for another project last night and it just happened to be on my table and I had a little confused moment there.
We see everything, Julie.
But I tell you what, you're sharp as a nothing gets past you, hey?
Oh.
I'm like, wow. Sorry, Julie, what are we coloring in?
Just the
gotcha.
background mountains, yeah. Just
I missed the green on the bottom of the clouds. Oh, okay. I better do that before I do the purple.
Just put
I'm really good.
Just use a new brush.
Yeah, I'm really good at smearing paint, so I have to make sure I do things in the right order.
Don't worry.
Get my hands into it. Yeah, I get my hand.
Gotta watch myself now. Nothing's. Yeah, you're all like sharp.
You want the one on the right to be a bit darker?
I'm just lightening this up a tiny bit, because I want to be able to see it. So I might make the one here a little bit lighter just on the top where it would be catching the light. So I might just make this a tiny bit lighter just at the tip here. It was so cold this morning.
It was minus 30 something with the wind chill.
Yes, like holy. I felt very guilty putting my son on the bus today, and he's like, "Can you drive me to school?" I'm like, "No, I don't have time teaching this morning." He said, "The bus is very cold. The driver keeps the window open." I'm like, well, you'll be fine. It's not for long. It's cold is good for your immune system.
We're gonna love the days when we can say it's so hot.
I know,
So humid.
So
Oh, those will be great days.
okay, so I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing here. So I've put some of that purple on those two mountains. Now I'm just putting a little bit on the side of my branches facing the light, just in a few places. Is that showing up on the camera, or do I need to lighten I might need to just lighten the exposure a little bit. There you go. Can you see the purple I'm putting in here?
Yeah.
So it's just purple with a little bit of white. And that's just bringing that tree closer.
Oh, that looks stunning.
Doesn't it look cool against the green?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm using a lot of poetic license. This is not on the Tom Thompson, but I like that effect. So, because I think it just makes it look a little bit more 3D. So say I'm just using a little bit of creativity there. But I like that. I think that looks cool.
Yours looks blue, Julie.
Sorry?
It looks blue.
It's purple. It might just be the resolution of your screen.
Okay.
It's just Windsor purple and a little bit of white.
Okay. You don't want to overdo it, right?
No, just a little bit. Yeah. And I do it because I just want to marry the painting. And then I'm going to put a little bit of it in the rocks as well in a few places.
My orange is sort of contaminating the purple. It doesn't really look purple. I think I have to do 2 coats.
Yeah, that's why I added, that's the other reason why I added a little bit of white, because the white makes it opaque. So you could try putting a little bit of white in.
Okay.
What's the main color of the rock going to be, Julie?
Kind of like a brown. So the orange that we're going to make for the sky, I'm going to add some black to it, so it's brown.
Okay. Just so I know what I'm heading towards.
Yeah. I was just painting and thinking something's not right, and the end of my brush fell off. And I was trying to paint with it because I hadn't noticed. Like there's something a little bit different. So this happens when your water's too deep and you leave your brush in the water for too long. So I do this all the time to my brushes, but you know, they always say, don't do what I do, do what I say.
Oops.
Wow, what a lovely way to start Valentine's Day, hey? All painting together.
So far fun.
Julie, when you paint the rocks, are you going over the black too?
Yeah.
So that, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's our next color?
Okay, we are gonna do orange next. So a good orange to use for this, we can either mix it or you can use burnt sienna with a little bit of yellow in it. So burnt sienna is a nice color for this. I actually mixed this myself, and before I realized that burnt sienna was basically the color I was making. So if you're making this, just cadmium red, yellow, but you can, if you have burnt sienna, then that works equally as well with a little bit of yellow and white in.
I have raw umber and yellow ochre.
So you could mix yellow ochre with cadmium red.
Okay.
So a bright orange right from the tube, is that okay?
I would tone it down a little bit if it's right from the tube. You don't really want pure orange, you want more of a browny orange. So if it's right from the tube, add a little bit of yellow and white to it. And to tone it down, you might need to put a tiny bit of ultramarine blue, and that will tone it down.
What size brush are we going to use?
You can use a flat 1/4 inch, or you can use, because it's fairly round, you could use a filbert as well. So you could use something like this. Again, I gotta fix all my brushes.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
a filbert, number unknown. But probably.
Oh, I know, I hate that, right?
I know.
wish I'd done that. Anyway, what do I know?
This
You
is
want
a
brown,
very
is that-
old brush I've probably had for most of my adult life. And this brush I use as mainly a cloud brush because it's really split.
Julie, what color did you say to mix with the yellow ochre?
Cadmium red.
Can you show me the color we're aiming for?
So we're making burnt sienna.
All right, we'll give it a try.
No, more yellow.
So you could put yeah, cadmium red, yellow, ochre, or and then if you find it's too orange, if you put a very, very pinprick amount of ultramarine blue, that will brown it down a little bit.
You need a fair bit of this, right, Julie?
Yeah, for these two areas here, and you will actually need it for the rocks as well, but we'll just use it with black for the rocks. So you don't really want to add any white to it for the rocks.
Mine's really orangey.
So add a tiny bit of ultramarine blue to it.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty.
The ultramarine blue will counteract the orange of it because they're opposite on the color wheel.
Right.
So whenever something looks too bright, think, right, what is the opposite? And that's when you refer back to your color wheel, which I believe I put into the notes.
Yeah.
So it's it's quite an easy formula to remember. Just think, right, I just need to go opposite to tone it down. And if you mix equal portions, you'll always make like a gray brown if you add equal amounts of the opposite colors depending on the value where the color is on the value scale. So if you're mixing yellow and purple together to get a brown, you'll need a lot less purple because it's a lot lower down on the value scale.
Yours looks, the picture looks yellowy orange.
Yeah, so you can add some yellow to it if it doesn't look yellowy enough. So if the burnt sienna doesn't look orangey enough, depending on what brand you're using, you could always add some yellow and red to it if you want it a bit more orangey.
Well, give it a go.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
Take a leap of faith. So I'm not worried about going around all those little branches this time. I'm just going to go right over them because they'll show through anyway. So don't forget, we're also looking at the juxtaposition right now between the white and the orange. And when we put in the yellow, it will look different. So we can make some fine adjustments then.
What color are you putting on there?
So this is the burnt sienna that we've just been talking about, the orangey color.
Oh my gosh, it looks white. You
Yeah.
should see oh wow.
It's this one. It's this one here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I see the true color, so it may be the resolution on the computer.
How's that?
No, your color's good, Julie, on my computer.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
What are we doing now?
We're going to do this lower cloud that's sitting on top of the mountains with the same color.
The lower cloud.
This one.
that's sitting on top of the mountains. Okay, do you want us to start?
Yes.
The lower cloud that's sitting on top.
Still getting the right shade of sienna. But I'll,
Just think
I'll
orange. Just do it orange. Even if it's bright, we can tone it down later. So just think orange for now.
Okay.
Orange with a bit
Okay.
of white in it. That would be absolutely perfect. So just do cad red with yellow, and even if it's bright, don't worry about it for now.
My red is too strong. The orange isn't really, the burnt sienna isn't really coming through.
Yeah, me too. I think my brush might be too wet. So
Add a little bit of white to it and it'll make it opaque.
Okay.
And don't worry, we can add a second layer. So don't worry about that at all. Let's work on the rocks. So make an orange. So there's two ways to do it. If you have a nice brown in the tube you want to use, go ahead with that. Or you can make orange and add black to it. So if you have a brown, you know, or if you have a couple of different types of brown in a tube. So this is where, Karen, you were saying that you have
Raw umber.
raw umber. Yeah, you could use that, and you could use it in its pure form and then add a little bit of red to it in a few other places. So we're going to be doing majority of our rocks are going to be brown. So for now, you could even block in most of the rocks just with brown. Because we can put in the shadows and highlights later.
We're making most of this one brown.
So you just want a darkish brown if you have it in the tube, or you just make an orange and adding black to it. And we're just blocking in our rocks. Don't worry about the shadows and highlights for now. The template that we created before with our black outline should still help us see where the rocks are.
Oh, shoot.
How's that going with the blocking in?
I'm still on the burnt umber clouds, way behind you.
No
Yeah, I'm
problem.
I'm
No
still
problem.
working on burnt umber too, or whatever it is. My version.
Julie, is brown the last color down there in the rocks?
Yeah, we will be making some areas a little bit lighter, and I did bring a little bit of blue in on this one.
Okay.
When I put the blue in for the little lights, I put some blue in here, but you don't have to do that. So and then we're just going to do, once we've done the yellow of the sky, then it's second layer. Then we've kind of completed all the colors. So the last thing is, after this brown, is the yellow of the sky. And then we're doing fine. Well, then we're doing this blue, these little lights. Then it's just doing second layer of everything.
Okay.
My wet palette's finally drying out after probably a month. That's not bad going.
Mine starts to smell before it starts to dry
Oh,
out.
I know. Yeah, I've opened mine on many occasions and found it black with mold. When I haven't painted for a while. I feel like if I paint on a regular basis, it never gets that stage because it's always been opened and closed. But yeah, if I leave it, it can get a little bit moldy. That's when you think, yeah, time to change it. Because we're on a septic, we don't have chlorinated water as well. So
Okay, I'm just starting the rocks now. Can you explain, do you kind of do lighter colors? It looks like you're doing lighter colors at the top of the rocks and then your darker brown lower down the rock. Is that the idea?
Yeah. So you can either block them all in and do that later for your second layer, or you can, if you have everything already on your palette already, you can do. I'll just do a little demo. I'll take my okay, so I'm gonna hold my palette up. I'll hold my palette up at the same time. I know it's casting a bit. There you go. So I'm holding my palette up. So I'm gonna take a little bit of my burnt sienna. So just say we're gonna do just this one rock. Then I'll put a little bit of white in with my burnt sienna.
Oh, okay.
Just to outline the top left-hand side of the rock. And then I might just take black with some burnt sienna, so very dark brown for the bottom part. So we can do the second layer. Right now we're just blocking in to get rid of the empty space. Like we're just working on placing our colors, deciding where they're going to go.
Oh, it's interesting.
Okay, the next area is the yellow, cadmium yellow, medium hue. And again, we're just blocking and we can do our blending later.
How do we do? Cadmium yellow.
Gonna use a large brush.
Is
So
this for the sky?
for the sky, and because we gave it that white undercoat, this should show up quite well.
Yeah.
So I'm just lathering it on thick. I'm not worrying about blending right now.
pure yellow?
Just pure yellow out the tube, just cadmium yellow, medium hue, straight out the tube. And because we did that white underpainting.
All I have is brilliant yellow and vivid yellow. Which one?
Can I see them? Do the one that's less lemony, the one that's more, a little bit warmer.
Okay.
Where's my other cup? Water.
My brush, I don't know, do you have any success gluing these heads back on? My wide brush, just, it popped, the end popped off suddenly.
So this is why
Can you
Julia,
glue them back?
electrical tape.
Oh, a great idea. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I use it for all my brushes, and I even color code them. So the ones that are my favorites, I put blue electrical tape around them, and the ones that I'm downgrading to you know, like cloud brushes, I put yellow electrical tape on them. So I kind of, you can color code them as well. You can use it as a little bit of a, this is my favorite brush, so it's going to get blue electrical tape on it.
Oh, that's a great idea, because I'm always looking for my favorite ones, and they get stuck.
And you can get the electrical tape like anywhere, you know, just in packs. It was like you can get like 4 or 5 different colors in one pack. So
What about Gorilla, Julie, what about Gorilla Glue or something like that?
you could do, the problem with glue is it's probably gonna come off again and prolong water use. I just find the electrical tape works for me, you know. So look, I'm not worrying too much about cutting in too much, because the yellow's so light anyway. I'm going right over my tree because I can put all that black in later.
Are you mixing it into the green as well, Julie?
Yeah, I'm going over everything. Yeah.
All the white, even down below?
Going over all of the white. Yeah. Just with cad yellow medium hue big brush. Going over everything. I can put all my fine detail in later.
Okay.
How solid do we want that yellow to be? Any white showing through it a bit?
No, I'm not doing any white showing through. I'm just going over the whole thing.
No, I mean it's showing through.
Oh, you mean it's yeah, see, I'm using a fairly heavy body paint, so you might need to put another layer on later. I'm also putting a little bit on my horizon line to reflect the you know, just going straight over that green that I did for the water, the top at least.
about for us that like our skies blue?
Sorry,
What about like, I like a blue sky.
make it blue then. That's okay. I like it when you do something different.
It's probably too late. I've just put yellow on it.
Well,
I'll end up with a green sky and that won't be very pretty.
So are you just sort of blending with the white over the, I'm not
just
sure what you're doing right now.
so you don't need to do this. I'm more focused on everybody getting all of the colors put down. But if you are done and ahead of time and you want to do it now rather than wait for your second layer, you can add some white into your yellow and add some kind of variation in the sky, especially on the left hand side. But the reason why I didn't say anything is because I just want you to get your blocks in first.
Oh dear.
Because this is all sort of fine tuning that you can do either now or later.
Oops.
So you didn't actually go over the green with the yellow, the thin green line around the clouds?
I went over everything with yellow. Yeah. So yes, I did go over the green with the yellow.
Thank you.
So if you are done, then you can start adding the second layer to your other areas, but take your time because you could always do the second layer in your own time. The main thing is about getting the colors down where you want them. So have you decided whether to do a blue sky or not, Karen?
Oh, no, it's green. I'm not going to change it now.
Yeah.
I once did that and I was in tears. So no, we'll
Oh
stay
no,
with
I
it.
don't want any tears. I want everybody to have a nice time.
What about our red cloud? I mean, our red, I still have red mountains. What were they supposed to be?
These ones?
Yeah.
Right. So we are gonna do ultramarine blue with black. So they're like navy blue.
And the red cloud part, do we go with the ochre or whatever?
Here?
Yeah.
This is the one that we were talking about earlier, the burnt sienna or the orange.
Sorry, Julie, what were the mountains? I haven't done those.
No, we haven't. None of us have done them yet. Yeah. That's
Oh,
what we're
good.
gonna do. That's what we're gonna do next. Yeah.
All right. Definitely a work in progress, this piece.
Yeah. I'm waiting for everybody to finish this guy and then we'll do the. Just let me know when you've Maybe everybody kind of give me a little thumbs up or something when you.
Should we pause on doing the rocks? Because they're a big job. I'm still.
Yeah, yeah. Get your sky blocked in. Take a break from the rocks.
Definitely gonna do my tree.
I said that. Oh wow, Kathleen, look at that. Gorgeous. Wow, you've really got a beautiful shaped tree there.
I'm not happy with the rocks, but I guess
No, we'll come back to the rocks. Don't worry about the rocks.
just keep working on them, I guess.
Yeah, we'll come back to it. So we're gonna mix ultramarine blue with black to make a dark navy blue. And we're gonna go over those mountains. So you don't have to take the navy blue all the way down. You can leave the base as black. And then we're going to put in a light blue for the lights. Or whatever you.
Ultramarine and black.
So ultramarine and black.
It's just the black mountains, not the purple mountains.
Just the black mountains. And we're just putting ultramarine and black to make like a navy blue. And we're only putting it along the top. So we don't have to take it all the way down. So where you have your little lights, you can just stop.
I didn't put the lights in.
Didn't put the lights either.
We can do those later, don't worry.
Okay.
I actually thought that maybe it feels more like civilization, so I wanted it to be in Algonquin Park or Lake Superior. I was thinking, oh, that's civilization. It's sort of creeping in.
Okay. I only did them
because
because they're in the original in the Tom Thompson one. But
oh, okay.
You can leave them out.
It was just an impression I had. I don't know.
Yeah, you want it to be a remote place you can escape to.
Yeah, that's it.
So leave them out. Don't do them.
I mean, looking at the original, it looks like either snow or granite, but I'm guessing snow because it's lighter than granite.
So funny. I just interpreted it as light civilization, but that's what's so nice about these paintings. You can interpret it any way you like. It can be.
It could be like at the end of winter, like early spring, when there's still little pockets of ice or snow left where it hasn't completely melted.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. It could be anything you want it to be.
Is it predominantly blue or black? Because black is really strong.
Yeah.
For the bottoms of the mountains. It's
You can
predominantly
just
blue.
Put the ultramarine blue as more of the main emphasis because it will look quite dark against the black anyway.
Okay, thank you.
So it all depends again on the brand of your paint.
Right.
If you're using a heavy body paint, you might find you don't even need any black in it.
Yeah, I'm going to try it that way. Just the pure color, just to give it a go and see how it shows up already.
Yeah, try it.
I can't tell how far up the mountains you went with the blue on the black.
So that's where I went. So I went down to the halfway.
Oh, you went down, you didn't go up.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking it was just the bottom. I couldn't quite get it. Okay, thank you. Oh, that'll work out better because I couldn't quite see how it was fitting in. Did you carry the blue right across to all the mountains, the Black Mountains?
Yeah, just did a little bit here on the tips of all of them here.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna, yeah.
How's Franca doing, Kathleen?
Oh, thank you for mentioning her. She's doing fine. She's going to join us next week.
Ah,
She's having some family issues, so she just hasn't been able to make it.
ah. We miss her giggles. How's everybody doing?
Slow, but okay.
Yeah.
For me, anyway. That's my usual.
No, that's okay.
Slow is relaxing and mindful, fast is
Exactly.
Well, I know, and you gave me really good advice last time, Susan, because I have to remind myself now to keep breathing when I'm concentrating on fine lines. I say, okay, breathe.
Don't hold your breath, yeah.
I'm not even aware I'm holding my breath.
We all do it.
Once we've done the rocks, what was the next step?
Okay, so the rocks.
No, sorry, not the rocks. Did I say the rocks? I meant the mountains. I meant.
Oh, right, the mountains. So the next step with the mountains is to, whatever you want to interpret these things as, is to make them a light blue. So I'm mixing ultramarine with white. And I'm just filling those in. The mystery lights, whatever you want to call them, like the mystery blue blobs. We'll never know what he wanted them to be. It'll remain a mystery. The truth died with him.
Oh, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We can interpret it whatever way we would like.
I'm gonna put some mystery thing in my next painting and see if you can guess what it is.
Yeah, you make the Loch Ness monster sticking its head out of the lake.
Yeah.
So they're really just dabs you're putting on?
Just little dabs, yeah.
Okay.
So if we're doing the top of the mountains, this dark navy, does that mean we just leave the bottom of the mountain, the black that was original?
Yes, absolutely.
Julie, did you put ultramarine blue on top of the purple for the back mountains?
It was ultramarine blue with lots of white mixed into it. Yeah.
The back mountains? Yeah.
This one, that's purple. So that's ultramarine blue with alizarin or cad red. Or you could just use purple out of a tube with a bit of white.
Yeah. I'll add some blue to it. Jeez. Oops.
Okay. You know, when you start getting tired and you're making big messes, I'm just going to leave it. If that's okay.
To quit, right?
It's like done. I'm going to make a big mess.
Well, my burnt sienna is drying all up. I had so much, so I'm so slow. So I think that might be my sign too. It'll take a while to get the right shade again.
Leon?
Pardon?
Do you use a wet palette?
Actually, no, I haven't been, but I should.
It does
I
save
know.
a lot of money on paint.
Yes, you're right about that. I haven't, I set it up a few times and I didn't get it quite right. It was it dried out too much. So I should try it again.
Since I'm new to the group, can you explain to me about how much dampness in a wet palette?
You want to ideally you got one of those like water sprayers. So you want to get, this is probably a fairly moldy one. So you get your Tupperware container and you want to get 2 or 3 layers of paper towel and just get one of those plant sprayers and kind of just spritz it. So, you know, if you don't have that, you could get some paper towel run under the tap, but you want to squeeze it out so it's not too wet, and then put a layer of printer paper. I do printer paper folded in half on this one so that, you know, it's a little bit thicker than regular printer paper, and then that's it. And then just a lid, and then use it till it dries out or till it goes smelly.
What
Julie,
paper? What kind of paper is that?
Regular printer paper.
Oh, okay.
Julie, what size Tupperware do you use? I've had real trouble trying to find the right size of Tupperware container.
I use something like this.
Yeah,
Which
but what's the
is,
size?
well, that's a 10 by 10 canvas.
From
So it's
Dollar Store, not the same as you.
yeah, Dollarama. It's $1.50. So it's probably, I think it's 10 by 6 inches.
Okay, because I had real trouble trying to find that size. Like 9 by 13 was all over the place, but I couldn't get a 10.
Get any size as long as it's shallow. You want it fairly shallow. To be honest,
Right.
the larger the better.
Right. And do you cut up your paper if it doesn't quite fit?
I cut it, rip it, or fold it. I'm not very delicate with it, I have to say.
Okay.
You know, I'm kind of make it fit because most of the time I'm making them in a hurry. So
Right. And can I just ask, I still have a lot of red around my trees, around my tree.
Okay, I'm gonna spotlight you so I can see you in more detail.
Okay.
I'll be a second. Because then I can put you on my big screen if I spotlight you.
Okay.
Okay, that's better. Ooh, that looks so good.
Bring it down a bit.
Yeah, I see what you mean about there's a lot of red around your trees.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could just continue mountains across and put in that detail later. Yeah, a
Okay.
little bit too red. Yeah. And then I would
Yeah.
say your rocks need to be a little bit darker at the bottom.
Right.
Yeah, so make your browns a bit darker. So you could even put in pure black at the
I was going to say,
bottom.
would you mix it with black? Yeah.
Yeah, and then put
Okay.
in a little bit of your brown in there, because you want the
Okay.
focal point to be kind of here rather than down here.
Right. Okay.
But
Thanks.
that's beautiful. Looks really
Thank you.
lovely.
Can we work gray and purple into the rocks too?
Not gray. I did put in a little bit of purple here and here. I put in a little bit
Okay.
of blue, ultramarine blue that was left over from here. I tend to
Yeah.
put in a
okay.
little hint of everything just to mix it all up, but it's mainly light on the top side pointing towards the light source, brown in the middle, and dark on the opposite underneath side.
Okay.
Does anybody else want to share while I'm
Very
spotlighting?
good.
Suggestions, please. Yes.
Okay, let's see. Oh,
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's beautiful,
that's
Carrie.
really nice.
Mhm.
That's
Thank you.
lovely, Kathy.
Oh, wow.
I would make your clouds here a little bit more orangey. So maybe add just make it orange with a bit of white in to make
Okay.
it just a bit lighter than red, but otherwise, and then also do the same here. So
Okay.
just make your orange. You could do your cadmium red, yellow and white, or yellow ochre and red and white, just to lighten the orange off a bit. But
Okay.
otherwise, beautiful. I think it's lovely. Well done. Anybody else want to share while I'm spotlighting? Karen?
Mine needs a lot of work because
Oh.
nothing looks blended. It looks like a kindergarten person painted it.
No, it doesn't. Oh, you're so hard on yourself and you always do such beautiful work. Okay, so
Like,
first,
there's a lot of red.
a lot of red. So again, same thing I said to Kathy, you've got a really nice orange here. Just make that the same here.
Okay,
And
all right,
then
I can do that.
your tree is beautiful.
I'm just gonna
Um,
outline it again. I feel like I've lost some of the black
Yeah.
under all the paint.
Outline it again. You might want to add in a few little chunks of purple on some of your branches. I'll take a photo of this and put it in the notes today.
And is the water okay?
Your water's great. Your rocks, I would say where you've got lavender here and here, maybe darken that a little bit
Okay,
on your rocks.
all right.
But otherwise, lovely. Yeah, just here, make that more orange. Get rid of the
More this
lavender.
color.
Yeah, more
Okay,
that
I
color.
can do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay, but well done. It's lovely. Okay, I'm gonna spotlight
Julia.
Jane.
I've got lots of work to do. Holy moly. I have to outline all my tree again.
So don't worry about
No,
the tree. You can do that. You do that last. Again,
Yeah.
make your cloud a bit more orangey.
So it is an orange, so what should I do? Is add yellow?
Yeah. So make it a lot lighter. So yellow,
Yes.
and you can even put a bit of white in there. And then let's see the bottom. Yeah, the
Oh, wait.
bottom, I would say you've got
It's
a few
patchwork,
kind of,
though.
yeah, I mean, it's whatever style you like. I would make, see where you've got your greens here, make those darker at the bottom. You could add some browns in there. Just make them dark
Okay.
at the bottom so they're not one block of green all the way down.
Right.
And then the green that you have here, again, maybe put some brown underneath it. So just kind of keep the greens, but just blend, like lessen them a
Blend.
bit. Like here where I've
Okay.
kind of, rather than one shade of green, you could mix it up or put some brown in there. But your tree shape's really nice. You've got a random bit of green over here in your tree.
Oh, surprise.
I just was wondering what that was. So
I wanted to see if you found it.
hey, and there's a bit here too. It's like spot the oddity. Yeah, it's like
Oh, there, yeah. Oh,
yeah. So
good.
otherwise, but that could be a little signature style, it's-
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else want me to have a little critique of those?
Julie, I'm still working in pencil crayons because I haven't unpacked my paints from my move, but
Oh, look at that. Whoa.
Oh,
Oh,
Ah,
beautiful.
I love it.
I don't have
Oh,
all the colors I need, and I'm learning to blend in pencil crayon, which I haven't done before. So this is quite experimental.
Susan, you could easily make copies of that, and that could be cards. That is so nice with the frame around it as well.
Oh, very nice.
I would
Thank
buy
you.
one of those cards.
yeah,
Okay.
no,
I'll start
It's
the
great.
bidding. I start the bidding at $30. Do I hear 35?
Yeah, 35. Yeah. Or just make cards and I'll buy the card version of it. That's gorgeous. I love the pinks in the sky and the turquoises that you've put in the sky. I actually like how you've left a lot of it white. I would be saying that's done because I really like.
Oh, that's interesting. It'll make me look at it in a new light because I thought I had lots and lots. to
No,
do.
I actually really like it the way it is. If that was a card in a shop, I would buy it like that.
It's actually interesting because they say when you're critiquing your own art, like to go look at it in a mirror. And
Yes.
now that I'm seeing it on my computer, I can see what you mean about not finishing it, like just put in dabbles of color here.
Yeah, I
So-
like unfinished drawings. I think, I have actually purchased a lot of cards of unfinished drawings because I just like that style where there's still white
Well,
space.
Well, come to my house. I have canvas after canvas of unfinished art.
Yay. Oh, me too. Oh my God.
I don't finish anything.
I feel like I could build a house with my unfinished canvases, like use them as bricks. Build a house. Okay, we have 3 minutes left. Does anybody else want to share?
I don't want to share, but I just wanted to ask a question. Was it brown out of a tube? Like, I don't know what it's called. Brown something? Burnt umber?
Burnt sienna. Oh, for the bottom part, you can use, I use
For the
burnt
rocks,
sienna
the
for
bottom
here, for the
part.
rocks. Yeah, I use burnt sienna and added black, but you could use burnt raw umber or burnt umber. Burnt raw umber's very dark. Burnt umber's a bit more chocolatey. So
I like
these
the
are
burnt.
brown.
Yeah, I like the burnt umber. It
I
just
like
has a little
burnt
bit of
umber.
warmth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
burnt umber
So
would
I
look
think
really
I'll
nice.
use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna change cameras now. Oh, this has been so fun. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today.
Thank you.